全て失っても君はまだそこにいると信じたかった Come and live your life Vandalize my Tomorrow, live and learn from the works of yesterday.